Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, that was Stu Laurie and Chris Barry. And I was informed by Stephen Fry in the break that I used the word perennial in its wrong context in the previous link. But there you go, I don't suppose anybody else noticed. So, ladies and gentlemen, the dust has finally settled on the big AIDS week thing, you know, where all the TV companies were exposing all the ignorance, and of course most of the ignorance was in the TV companies. I mean, they had this extraordinary youth campaign with Mike Smith up front, very convincing indeed, very sexy Mike Smith, up front, telling all the kids how not to get AIDS. And yet, they put it out at 8:30 on a Friday evening. Well, very clever. All the kids are out trying to get laid, aren't they? Except, of course, not trying to get laid. No, not indeed. Not trying to get laid, or Mary Whitehouse would have us say, trying to get married. Yes, that's what you wanted to say. All the kids down the pub trying to get married, you see, because she thinks there was far too much talk about sex and far too little talk about young people getting married. She's obviously been to loads of discos and fun pubs recently where they talk about nothing else but marriage. I know, you know, some 17-year-old sack of lager sort of wobbles across the floor with a face like rhubarb and custard. He says, hello, doll, I've been watching you move. I think you look good. I think you look sexy. Why don't we have a few drinks, go back to my place, get engaged, you know? We can have a 3-year non-sexual courtship and then lose our virginities together on our honeymoon. I mean, it's bound to happen, isn't it? I mean, obviously, Mrs. Whitehouse has been saying that they should be promoting a more romantic attitude amongst British youth, and AIDS should be aimed as if young people were very romantic. Yes, don't take risks. First time, get married. There you go. Don't leave the house for the rest of your life. Now, fair enough. But I think, ladies, I think girls, it is a very high price to pay for Mrs. Whitehouse's approval to get to have a lifetime with some dingbat just because you got a bit frisky and drunk one night, you know what I mean? I mean, let us, for God's sake, have sensible people. Let us have, you know, people trying to take control, but let's have a bit of realism as well, eh? I mean, what's that about? What do they want? A campaign at other people. They shouldn't have the AIDS campaign at the people at risk, the people who are sexually active, the people who are potentially promiscuous. There's obviously a lot of jealousy. All the non-risk people are saying, what about a campaign aimed at us, eh? What does Mrs. Whitehouse want? What about a campaign trying to tell happily married old age pensioners about the dangers of AIDS? That'd be happy, wouldn't it? Now, you wrinklies, you watch out. Stay safe. The only way to be absolutely safe is stay in your bath chairs. And when you do go down the Derby and Joan Club, for God's sake, if you're doing the okey-cokey, make sure you're doing it with somebody you've been married to for 60 years or more. That'll obviously make it, because attitudes have got to change. It's no good pretending that attitudes don't need changing. I mean, it's no good burying our heads in the sand. Attitudes have got to change. I mean, for one thing, everybody's saying that attitudes have changed already, and of course, because people go around saying, oh, isn't it funny? You can talk about condoms now, isn't it weird? We never used to be able. Now you can say, miss, what's a condom? You can talk about condoms, can't you? In fact, it's got Prince Philip's talking about condoms. Oh, no, I don't know why. But, ladies and gentlemen, no, I don't know what that meant, and I don't know why you laughed. None of you could tell me, but anyway, thinking about legal problems there. So, ladies and gentlemen, everyone's talking about condoms. All the time. I mean, you know, I think it's got to the point where you're actually expected to. It's bad manners not to. I mean, if the vicar comes round and he hasn't edged the subject round to rubber johnnies after a couple of minutes, you think he's being rude, don't you? See, with Aunt Matilda. Oh, hello, Aunt Matilda. Would you like a little scone and perhaps a cup of tea? And perhaps you'd like to glance over the colours of our new Johnny selection at me and Gerald. Oh, yes, indeed. They're matching his colour perfectly. A nice russety pink there. I remember the old days when I went down Boots, trying to gather up my courage. What terrible days. Sweating, hoping there'd be a male shop assistant, desperately scared, looking like a shoplifter just because I wanted to buy some. Nowadays, some drongo quo-fan on a moped shoots up. He's got more chance of playing the guitar than he has of losing his cherry, and he's embarrassed if he doesn't ask for a six-pack of Fiesta when he goes in for his zit cream. I mean, what's it about? He used to make all these excuses. Say, I'd like some aspirin, please. Wink, wink. A bottle of aspirin, wink, wink. I'm embarrassed these days to just ask for a bottle of aspirin. Oh, you just want aspirin, do you? Nothing else? What are you? Socially irresponsible, or maybe you're just not getting any, is that it? You actually really do only want a bottle of aspirin. Probably your best bet is to go in and ask for some condoms and wink a lot and clear your throat, you know. I'd like some condoms, I've got a headache, get my meaning. I mean, they're going to have to start advertising them. That's what they're going to do. They have promised there's going to be condom adverts on the telly. After 30 years, this is true, they don't know how to advertise them. They're all having big quarrels about sort of what line to take. It's the same as a sort of tampons debate. How to make it tasteful. They can't think of a slogan. Well, they could just use some of the slogans they've been using already, couldn't they? Just take some of the old slogans. I'm sure they'd fit. Of course they could. Condoms. Don't leave home without one. Very nice. Fit. Men just can't help acting on impulse. That'd do, wouldn't it? They came in search of paradise. Perfect. They're tasty. Tasty. Very, very tasty. I mean, attitudes have changed. All this talk about sex on the telly, all this talk, continue going on about sex. I mean, it really cheeses most people. Most people don't get much sex. I mean, all us wimps wandering around. It's great now we can pretend celibacy. I mean, you say, well, you know, of course I could get loads and loads of girlfriends. I'm just being a celibate, you know. I mean, that's a good excuse. I mean, it's a myth that everyone's having sex the whole time. This media myth, you know, the television, it messes people up. You've got films, James Bond movies, saying it's normal to have sex 6 times a night. So everyone thinks they're not normal. Everyone's paranoid. They're not having sex enough if they're in a long-term relationship. Right in the Marge proofs. Dear Marge, I'm worried. We only make love twice a week. I'm thinking, twice a week? How'd you find the energy, for God's sake? A healthy relationship, as far as I'm concerned, after 5 years, is one where you're not trying to kill each other. That's what it's about. I mean, why don't people be honest? After a while, when you're in a long-term relationship, you don't have so much sex. That's what it's about. But people feel so guilty. Oh, I want to be doing it tonight. Oh, does he want to? Does she want to? I don't know. Should we be doing it or shouldn't we? Why can't we be honest? Why can't we love each other? Go to bed, bit of a crossword, cup of coffee, roll over and fart for 14 hours. That's all right. Because it's not about that. I mean, if James Bond was honest, I mean, when the beautiful Oriental beauty comes in to see James Bond, he wouldn't say, let's go to bed. He'd say, hey, you haven't done your washing up this week. We just don't seem to talk anymore, May Wong. That's what relationships about. We need a bit of help with this sort of thing from the media, not constant sex, and AIDS. Nobody knows what to do. Everyone's confused. So basically, you take my advice. There's a few 18-year-olds out there going, oh, yeah, me and my girlfriend get it together pretty often. Well, yes, you wait. All right, a couple of years from now, you'll be saying, no, please, I got a headache, both of you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get down. We had a good Saturday Live. Please, will you welcome one more time,